Good. Are we on?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Bring it on in for a special edition of the Daily Ticket. I am joined by my right-hand man from Swinging and Ding It, Harry Mays. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of the best locations I've ever had to be a part of as a backdrop for a show I've been a part of, my show, anything I've ever done on the radio. We are 15 green side, 16 tee side, live at the Truist Championship, Philadelphia Cricket Club, Wissahickon course. Harry Mays, if I'm lying, I'm dying. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. There's no place I'd rather be than be right here with you. And over the course of our career, which is now kind of extensive, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, we're getting up there in years, and we've been in this business for quite some time. We've been on some great location shots.
Very true.
And this is definitely right up there with any of the best. I mean, how great is it to be here at this golf course on this day with this great field that is out here trying to deal with the elements. We're right behind one of the only 2 par 5s on the golf course. We just had Shane Lowry, Justin Rose, and Keegan Bradley all come through, and I think they all made birdie out here.
Wow.
You got to make birdie here today. And then they take the left-hand turn and go to the par 3, which is playing about 198 today with the multi-tiered green. You and I were out there earlier today watching shots coming into that back right pin position. I mean, this is where you want to be.
This is right where you want to be, man.
Yeah.
And, of course, shout out to Powers Production, Swinging and Ding It, Moose. I know Danielle's going to be up here, so you're going to hear a brand new Swinging and Ding It coming your way once again from this same location. But I was able to get Harry Mays to join me on this venture. We're going to be joined by Luke Arcani. He's going to be our 16 T-side correspondent. We're going to go live to the course to hear from Luke Arcani on what's taking place on that par 3 over there, a long par 3, 195?
198 today. They can stretch it to 215 with the back tee, which is where it was yesterday. So is Luke going to be down there, like, interviewing people with the hush tone Jim Nance thing going on?
I would imagine if that happens, there might be a fine coming someone's way. I think we're able to get away with it right here. President right next to us.
Gotcha.
But I don't know if we can cross that, that Moonlight Graham line where things just completely change.
But I tell you, the transfusions are flowing. Everywhere I look, somebody's got a transfusion in their hand. Unless you're Kevin Bloomfield, one of our great listeners. He had 2.
Then you got 2.
2 seconds ago. He just whacked one of them.
Cocktails and dreams,
Yeah,
baby. Cocktails
it's unbelievable.
And birdies.
I gave up vodka.
Ooh.
I mean, what am I thinking? There's a bar like 40 feet to my left.
Yes.
Right here.
Well, we are fighting the elements, and again, we're not asking you to feel sorry for us.
No.
But yesterday, what a day it was. 85, 80 degrees, sunny, couple clouds in the sky, very hot. And we were supposed to be live in the elements again today, but of course, the weather comes in, moves everything around. So the PGA Tour has treated us with unbelievable respect for what we're trying to do, what we've been doing. Of course, Swinging and Ding It, the great podcast, The Gambler, the show, all that. And they put us up here in this huge high rise right off a 15 green, 16 tee box. I mean, it's tremendous what they were able to do for us. Snap of the fingers, electricity,
Wi-Fi, the whole deal.
And here you go, guys. Have fun.
It was amazing, and they put it all together in no time. I mean, shout out to Slash and Powers. They do a terrific job behind the scenes here, getting this whole thing up and running. We're actually on camera. I mean, this is like a totally legit, like, high-level broadcast.
That's what we're doing here. You could be only found on The Gambler. Harry Mays, you'll be catching in with Swinging and Ding It. Let's dive into some of the action. And it's tough because they teed off at 8 a.m., so they already hit the ground running. A lot of golf has already been played, but I don't want to just hit the gas pedal and move off of round 1. If we could, of course, Keith Mitchell, who I believe missed a shot on 18 as well.
He did.
So he could have been.
He could have made 60. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he smashed the course record as it is. The old record was 65. His back 9, which was his first 9, he went 3 under for a 32, and then he just went wild on the second 9, went 6 under. He birdied 17 and 18 and 1 altogether, and that's making the turn here. And 17 and 18 are healthy par 4s. He birdied both of those, then went to the first hole, which is a shorter par 4, plays as number 8 for the cricket members, birdied that. Then he goes and birdies 5, 6, 7, and 8, and came close to making one on 9 to finish out for a 60. He ends up with 61, and he's here on a sponsor's exemption So you talk about making the most of an exemption and an opportunity. Right now, Keith Mitchell, and you figure like, okay, a lot of these guys it's hard to back that round up, right?
Sure.
Everybody says, oh, he shot 61 and probably ends up with somewhere around par tomorrow. He went out and made a couple of birdies early today, and he's sitting in the lead at 12 under par. So it doesn't look like he's going anywhere soon.
No,
right.
Definitely not. And he right now currently is your odds-on favorite on DraftKings Sportsbook to win the Truist Championship 2025, minus 350. A lot of golf to be played, and a lot of low numbers are going to be thrown up.
And there's no cut, too. So
no cut
even these guys who are way down the board right now, they could throw up a number that, this afternoon from their closing holes and then start out early tomorrow and go wild. Who knows? I think the weather's going to get much better for the weekend.
I agree. And it's only going to, dampen up those greens. So I just think they're going to go out there and shoot some darts as they were already doing yesterday. We were talking a ton about that. Again, staying with yesterday's theme, if we could.
Yeah.
Very similar to Keith Mitchell's story as far as the sponsorship exemption. Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
Ricky, who is a legend in my mind, right? He's one of those guys that, like, I paid attention to a couple years ago. I mean, he was constantly up on the top of the leaderboard. Maybe has fallen off a little bit. I know he changed his swing, I think, a couple years ago, whatever it may be. But still, it's great to see Ricky out there. Harry, I never thought that he would throw up the number he did yesterday with 9. Yesterday was 9 under, I want to say, correct?
He was 7 under yesterday. I think he's at 9 now. Yeah, he's 2 under for the day. But, he was 7 under, 29 on the front 9. His first 9 holes, he was a blister. He set the pace. He made a bogey at 17 coming in, but then bounced back with a birdie on his final hole to finish at 7 under. And he's another sponsor's exemption guy, so making the most of an opportunity.
All right, so Luke Arcani is here with us. This is great. Can I get a towel? Live on air. Now, here's the deal. We were set up in the corner. We were set up in the corner, right? And the wind was coming. Thank you. Everything was blowing this way. We were perfectly, placed in the corner.
Everything was great.
All of a sudden, as soon as we were ready to go live, the wind shifted. And now it's blowing on our back, completely all over. I don't care about getting wet. It's the electronics.
Right.
So with that being said, let's use that there. Live programming. That's what we do here. All right, Luke Arcani will be joining us in a little bit. We're going to talk more about what took place yesterday as far as being on the course, walking around, Harry, and I got a great question. As a man who has seen many professional tour stops, many rounds of professional golf, I think this is a great question because we're going to get a lot of people come through those gates over the next 48 hours and then some. What is your approach? If somebody said, hey, man, I got a ticket.
Right.
I got my buddy. We're going. I've never been. And then I think it also changes each venue, right?
Yes.
Like this is definitely unique. It's small. I think it's a place that if you strategically map out where you want to go, you can catch a tee shot and then a green or, the 3 players on the green putting. So from the standpoint of if I'm asking you day one, would you prefer to be on a green? Would you rather be a tee box? Would you rather be set up in the fairway for approaches? What would you say to that person?
I am not one that likes to be stationary when I'm watching a golf tournament in person. I like to roam around. I like to walk the golf course. I typically will know the golf course a little bit beforehand, and I'll know where I want to go. And I like to see tee shots. I like to see Rory McIlroy being able to just let it out with the driver. I mean, when you can stand 15 feet from a guy like that doing what he does with the driver, it's something cool to see in sports. So I like to get by a tee box, and with a group like he's got JT Fleetwood with him today. That's the most popular group. Everybody's trying to get a gander at those guys. So you don't like here. You don't want to go 1, 2, or 3 because it's a bottleneck back there. I don't want to get involved in that. So I cut out to number 4, which is a longer par 4. They're going to use driver. And I find myself right around the bunker, knowing they're going to probably hit it right around that fairway bunker, and I'm going to see the tee shot land and then see their approach. And then I go from there and jump ahead a hole to get to the tee box. That's my strategy.
And I like that. And that's specific, obviously, to the cricket club here this weekend. And folks, I just think if you're looking for an angle, an edge, that's exactly what you need to do. Just don't come to 15th green and come to the back of the booth because I'm getting drenched right now, but that's all right.
I took a shower already this morning.
We're fighting the elements, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do here. No, look, and from yesterday, the question hit me. You know what, Luke, let's bring you in here. Luke Arcani is joining us. We are, once again, live at the Truist Championship. Harry Mays with me. Swinging and Dinging will be coming your way in a little bit. We'll get a brand new episode for all you guys out there, guys and girls. A lot of great listeners. I saw a gentleman come up to you. Says he listens to you guys in the treadmill.
Is that right?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
We're helping people lose weight and stay healthy? How about that?
That's what it takes, man. That's what it takes. Put the headset on, Luke. You don't have to sit down. My goodness. What's going on, Jim? Jim Nance joining us. Hello, Jim. Did you bring your tie?
Hello, friend.
There you go.
There it is.
All right, so Luke Arcani joining us, the best golfer as far as the Gambler Gang is concerned.
That's for sure.
When it comes to talking about things baseball, does a great job covering the Phils. Big series victory there, big sweep.
time.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I was asking, and you know a thing or two about working on a golf course as well. For me yesterday, when I was walking the course, I didn't know where I wanted to be, but I will tell you, I enjoyed the drives. But to me, it's about being on the par 3. If you could be greenside or even just, because a par 3 is short. So if you could be somewhere in a good spot and catch both action, to me, that, and you know me, I like a good party. That's where the party was yesterday.
What you talking about, the short one up there,
Correct.
number 14?
14.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good hole.
Yeah.
120 yards.
That's where the party was.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of leaning towards, if somebody did approach me on that, I would say, get to a par 3 first and see if that hits you. If that suits you, I think you found your spot. But if it doesn't, then I think you're going to be blown away.
Yeah, I think it's whatever you like, too.
Yeah.
If you want to watch Rory hit the ball 370 yards off the tee, then go stand at a tee box. But,
Yeah.
honestly, and I'm not just saying this because this is where we are, I love to watch them around the greens. I love, especially this hole. They have to hit some weird wedge shots around this hole. Like, there's some weird stuff that they have to do. We obviously have the view of 16 here as well, which is playing pretty long today.
Yeah, it's 198. But
198,
as you were saying, a lot of these guys are trying to hit big fades into that back right pin, and they're ending up in a bunker, right?
They're trying to go right to left on 16 with a back right pin, and it doesn't really make sense. Listen, that's why I'm here and I'm not out there on the tee box. But it doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. It feels like for righties, it should just be a left to right fade in there. But
just put it in the middle of the green.
They're playing a lot of draws over the right side, and I don't know. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but once again, that's why I'm up here and not down there.
Well, yesterday the pin was short front left. It was almost off the green.
Yeah.
It was an incredible pin.
We do have some good groups coming up here, too. So 15,
into 15?
Yeah, so 15 green right now. I believe they're walking to 16. Ludwig Oberg, Russell Henley, Sepp Straka.
Straka's in third right now, at 10 under par.
And behind them in the fairway is Xander Schauffele, Hideki Matsuyama, and
I saw
Akshay
Xander
Bhatia.
smash one yesterday.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
just ridiculous.
Dude can hit the ball.
So, all right, you've been walking around for the last few days, Harry.
Yeah.
Is there a golfer right now that has gotten off to a good start, a decent start, someone that's close to the lead or with plenty to play? Is there a guy that you liked what you saw walking around and you see what he's doing on the scoreboard right now, and maybe you're thinking about over the next 2 rounds possibly following him, firing on him?
Well, I was following him earlier yesterday, and this morning watching it from the media center on the TV, they went out very early. Justin Thomas. He's playing with Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood, and
Great
I just am watching him hit his wedge. He is in total control of his golf ball right now, and he actually excels in this kind of weather. When the conditions get difficult, he gets more creative. And he's terrific around the greens, like you were saying, Luke. You're watching him just sort of take apart a golf hole from 100 yards in is just it's art.
Yeah.
And I look at him; he's 8 under right now, 4 under for the day. He's a guy tied for 5th right now that I really am thinking this could be his week. Shane Lowry's another one.
Oh man,
this is a Shane Lowry day. This is
the Shane Lowry course.
It really is.
This is
It really
Shane
is.
Lowry course.
And he's 11 under, sitting in second place by
I
himself.
think he's 5 under today.
And he's 5 under for the day. So, those are 2 guys right then and there.
Well, Lowry and McIlroy, they know a good thing or two about each other. Plus 450 Lowry right now to win the Truist Championship. McIlroy directly right behind or under him at plus 650. Morikawa 7-1. Straka, who I saw put it about an inch away from that par 314 yesterday. Great group that he's in. And then JT, who you brought up at 12-1. Right now, Keith
12-1.
Yeah, 12-1 for JT.
Where does Ricky stand on there right
Ricky
now?
is directly under JT at 16-1 right now.
Ricky's 9 under total. He's only 3 shots back of the lead. He's under par today. This also kind of feels like, I know you said yesterday, I mean, he's a sponsor invite that went out and shot 7 under yesterday. Like,
Right.
this seems kind of like one of those things. Maybe he goes on a run.
What are you guys thinking when it comes to the final tally, final number after 4 rounds, weather included? What we know heading into today from yesterday's perspective. Currently, as I said, Mitchell 12 under right now. Where are we at? And, of course, coming off of last week with what Scotty did, 31.
Yeah.
Like, are we in that arena?
You don't get many I feel like just the tendency in tournaments on Sundays is you don't get a ton of crazy low Sundays because these guys that are in the top, they're not out there, trying to shoot 7, 8, 9 under.
It's a
they're
guy
out
from
there
back
trying
of
to
the
win the
pack that'll
tournament.
do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll see a guy that's tied for 30th shoot an 8 under and end up in 5th.
Like Spieth shot 62 last Sunday, came from back of the pack into second place.
I mean, leader right now, I'd probably say maybe around the 20 mark.
I'm
I
at
don't know.
22.
I
I
think
I'm
it
staying
probably,
at 22.
Which, oh, by the way, the number coming in was 21.5.
Was it? Okay, I'm going 22.
Never a doubt.
Yeah.
It's pretty good what they do, those odds makers.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Look, I hate to focus on what took place last week, but looking at some of the numbers of some other golfers that went out there and did what they did, having career rounds, and then all of a sudden still like 12 shots away from what Scotty was doing last week, it's insane.
Yeah, it was a great golf tournament if Scotty Scheffler stayed home like he did this weekend. I mean, he took the drama right out of it.
Imagine shooting 24 under and losing by 7.
And losing by 7, yeah.
That's not right. That's not right, but that's the PGA
What,
Tour.
Eric Van Rooyen, right? Yeah. He played an incredible
Played
week.
out of his mind.
Yeah.
All right. Akshay Bhatti right there. Talked to him on the driving range on Wednesday. Super down-to-earth guy and one of the growing faces, let's just put it that way, on the PGA Tour. He is currently on the 15 green directly in front of us, broadcasting live from the Truist Championship. Sean Brace, Harry Mays, and Luke Arcani. Bhatti right now 8 under. So he's a guy that he's won on the PGA Tour.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a guy that possibly people should be taking a look at. 22-1 right now to win it.
And he's still looking for, I feel like he's still kind of searching for that first signature
big win. Yeah. This would be it.
He's had the little ones, but going out winning the Truist against a big field would be his true. Sounded like he just missed something, or somebody just missed something.
Yeah.
But
and he's playing in a group with Hideki Matsuyama and Xander Schauffele, 2 guys with major championship pelts. I think this is a really good first 2 days for him to really kind of grow.
He's going to be forced to continue to play better golf all weekend.
Great use of the word pelt. I love
that. Yeah, I love that.
Pelts. Yes, exactly. All right. Do want to talk a little bit real quick, if we could. A great friend of the program, Angelo's Cheesesteaks. Those boys fed the PGA Tour, and Justin Thomas took to Instagram. Talked about how he was ready to eat the whole thing.
That was a great picture.
We got Wear SPF on the table. You got to love that. Shout out Justin Thomas.
That's a JT thing, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell you what, you might not need it today, but you're going to need it the rest of the weekend.
But you do know.
Tomorrow, you're going to need it.
You do know that they say when it's really overcast, that's when you get most sunburns.
Did they really say that?
They do. I don't know if that follows suit today, though.
Now, do you put it on the dome?
Every day.
Yeah.
Have to. Have to.
What do you go, 50?
It's whatever's in the, let's be honest, it's whatever's in that thing before we walk out. My wife is on my daughter constantly on her face.
Yeah.
So there's always a bottle right before I leave the house. And once it turns to May, April, sun's out.
Well, that's why you're a hat guy.
Yeah, definitely a hat guy. Always has, always will be. All right, again, shout out to Angelo's. We got some great sponsors that we're going to be talking about, Tick Pick and so many others that have helped put us at this space right here for the full week. Once again, a Powers production. Nobody does it better. Back to the Truist Championship from, we could even go back to Wednesday or when you walked earlier in the week, Harry. What's something that, made you smile? What's a moment that really got the juices going for you? What is there a moment that you're going to already think about, 5 years from now when you're telling a story? Oh, yeah, we were at the cricket club, Truist Championship, and I remember X.
I mean, just being out here. I love to – you talk about where do you like to go when you go to golf tournaments. I love to be on the driving range.
Oh, yeah.
And we were out here I was out here on Monday to come and get my credentials and get the lay of the land, that kind of thing. Nobody else was here, but the range was buzzing. Like every player except JT and Rory were here. And they're all in there hitting it. They got their TrackMans out, their Foresight machines, you name it, whatever they're using, their coach, instructors behind them, and they're grinding. They're trying to, maybe figure out certain shots that they know they're going to see out here on a par 4 or something, and working. And I love watching that, especially from when you're 10 feet behind them and you can stand there like, with a credential, you can get right in there. That I find just totally fascinating. The other thing was, I'm like, I think this place is going to look absolutely beautiful on television.
Boom.
And we were here for the Creator Classic, which was a terrific event, by the way. You had Team Richards ended up winning it in sudden death. And I got home in time enough to see it on TV, the end of the Creator Classic, and all the drone footage that they were taking. This place just pops on television.
Yep.
And that's something that I was really looking for and excited about.
I will follow up on that yesterday, having the opportunity to get home, and I watched the replays. And I tend to do that a lot, especially if I miss it live action. One of my favorite things as far as the Masters are concerned is to go belly up at some hole-in-the-wall bar and watch the replay.
Right.
Like after it was played in the afternoon, get to some bar, watch the replay, 7, 8, ESPN rolls it out.
Right.
So I enjoyed doing that last night, and you get such a fresh perspective. You see everything differently, entirely differently. And like you said, when they involve the different camera shots, the drones, everything else that they're adding to the broadcast, of course it's top class.
Right.
It's top class. So really cool to see that too as last night. Luke, I know you just got here. What's something that is already catching your eye?
I will say, on sort of Harry's note, I was standing out this morning, and probably around 8:30ish by the putting green, and just watching them go through their routine.
Oh yeah.
It's just
very
it's just
meticulous,
incredible.
aren't
It's
they?
incredible.
Yeah.
I watched Aaron Rye do a drill where he probably had about a 20-foot breaking putt, and he wasn't putting at the hole. He put his tees vertical to where he was, and they were about probably separated by about 3 inches.
Okay.
And he had to hit the perfect break to go around the tees and put it through. Just watching these guys go through their routine that they do. Everybody does different drills.
Oh, yeah.
Watching them get their TrackMan numbers on the range, it's just you don't even understand. And we sit here and we watch it on TV every week, or we watch it in person. And yes, we know all these guys are great. They're unbelievable golfers that would beat us all by a million strokes. But it's even crazier to just watch their practice routine in person, because they're so particular about every single thing.
And the caddies get out the levels.
Yes.
Everybody's got a level in their bag, Sean.
They're
and
leveling
the caddy
the
gets it out and they're
greens
leveling. They're figuring out what how much degrees of is this going right to left. I mean, everything is dialed down to be so specific. And when I was here Monday, Matsuyama was on the green with his caddy when I got here. I left 3 hours later. He's still on the putting green for 3 hours.
You want to be a pro. You want to be a pro?
Exactly right.
And then some, right? You got to be able to hit it 300, and then to have that drive, that work ethic. No, and these guys can do whatever they want. They could probably roll out of bed and shoot 6 under, of course, but you're not going to do that 4 nights in a row, are you?
Right.
One quick note on Shane Lowry. I believe he was the last one to leave the range.
He was here till around 8 or 9 o'clock.
They got a good video of him with the sunset smashing golf balls, and he played the Pro-Am with Jason Kelsey. Everybody, one of the crowd favorites as I was walking around as well. As we are live once again from the Truist Championship, and on hole 15 and 16 right here, right now. I got Harry Mays with me. I got Luke Arcani. We're going to talk a little bit more about the wagering perspective, see if we can find, and not just wagering on hole 16 here, and see if we can cash in there.
We could.
I don't think the people back home would really care, but that's fine. But big picture, we're talking about from the weekend standpoint, we're talking about the overall number as far as where that winner is going to find ground. Top 5 is a popular play if we can go out there and find a golfer or two as far as top 5 is concerned. I also did want to mix in some other fun stuff again because had a lot of time on my hands. Tour media member.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, man, that is a hell of a gig up until this weekend. and this week I said, that might be the toughest media gig out there as far as season credentialed media members are concerned.
Yeah.
Hockey, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, PGA Tour. I think the PGA Tour media members might have the toughest gig.
Well, they're all in shape. I'll tell you that.
Walking,
it's a lot of walking.
Traveling.
It's walking all weekend.
You're spread out.
You're all over the country.
The quotes aren't easy. You got to, these guys are polished. These golfers are all polished, right?
Right.
Everything that goes into it.
And, it's not like, baseball or football where you have, for a baseball season, you play obviously, 162 games?
Yeah.
You have 81 at home.
Right.
You're in a different state every weekend for this. So, you're traveling for probably about 5-6 months straight every weekend.
I saw your post with that, and I liked it, by the way, because you're absolutely right, man. like the topography of these places. I mean, if you walk Augusta National and you're one of those big guys that, for big publication, you're inside the ropes. That's a tough walk.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't care if you're not playing golf and you're not carrying a bag, but it's still a tough walk for 4 straight days, and you're doing your job, and then you got the lead up, practice rounds and everything. You get your steps in, my man.
Oh, yes.
I'll tell you what. But I got to give a shout out to this place too for the PGA. The food in the media area is spectacular.
Yeah.
I had
Red carpet.
This morning I had a nice blueberry muffin.
Oh,
there.
wasn't it terrific?
It was
Terrific.
absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible muffin.
Speaking of, I don't know if the muffins are as good as this view right here now. Now, if I could paint the picture, we are in this tent, this huge tent that has about probably 20 rows of people all sitting down. But then obviously you got rows and rows of people just standing up. We got 2 TV monitors that are but they're wrapped in plastic right now, protect them from the rain. So it's tough to really see.
Yeah.
But man, somebody cleared out. A lot of people have cleared out, and I could just see right here the approach shots, probably about 80, 95 yards out right here. This is a heck of a view right now.
Yeah, about half the room cleared out after Shane Lowry and Keegan and Justin Rose's group.
There you go.
All made birdie and then made their way over to 16. They all left.
They want to watch the captain.
Yeah, the
That's
captain,
it.
Want to
right?
watch
That's
the
it.
captain.
Luke, any idea who is now hitting approach shots in 215?
I believe Daniel Berger's group right
Okay.
now. I can't necessarily see who is behind them on the tee box.
Well, Burgers with Garrick Higo and Jacob Bridgman.
Yes, so they, I believe, are in the middle of the fairway right now as
Yeah.
the rain continues to come down even harder than it was.
Yeah.
And then whatever group, wow, that's pelting down
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Whatever group is behind them,
That's fine.
Yeah.
I want to we're going to bring Danielle in a little bit here. Of course, Danielle Matthews from Swinging and Dinging as well. Harry, when you look at what we're dealing with as far as weather is concerned right now, we're just playing straight through. You don't foresee without looking into the Doppler and strapping on a bow tie like Hurricane Schwartz.
Right. I mean, I don't anticipate ponding on the greens right now. The rain isn't that heavy, but the wind is picking up.
Definitely.
And as long as there's no lightning, I think they're going.
It's crazy because we were talking about what takes place if lightning does strike.
Yeah.
And, of course, what happens with the players. They automatically stop. But if they clear out everybody as far as the grandstands are concerned, where are we going?
I don't know what we do.
Staying
I mean,
right here.
I was at Bethpage once when they had a lightning strike, and we went under a tree for about an hour. I never left the golf course because I'm like, once I get in that van, if I have to go in a van and get out of here, I'm not coming back. So I stayed through it. But that's, you're not supposed to do that.
That's how we operate, baby.
Is this helping the headset if I do this?
Yeah, I
fine.
think so.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We are
Save it a little
live.
bit.
We're coming to you live from 15 and 16 at the Truist Championship. This is what it's all about. This is where we're earning all those stripes. This is why you lift all those weights
That's
in the
right.
offseason.
That's
all right?
right.
All right, again, leaderboard right now, we're looking at Mitchell. He is plus 360, Lowry plus 450. Not much movement since last time we spoke about these numbers here. Is there a golfer in mind, boys, top 5, top 10, that you've liked what you've seen so far? You feel like the course is suiting them well, and we should have them as they play over the next 2 rounds?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to look at Akshay. I don't know if he's in the plus money for top 5.
Right now he is top 5.
I would, if he's somehow still in the plus money,
I'm
to
looking at
finish
plus
top
400
5,
top 5.
for Akshay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. He's had a very nice start. As far as the other guys down here, where's Keegan?
What's Nick Taylor's number?
He's what, 4 under?
He's 4 under
today?
for the day.
Yeah.
He's Canadian, and I was told that both he and Connors love this place because it reminds them of playing in Canada. Like the grasses are similar, the bent grass stuff, and they just really it was almost like playing a home game. So, what's Nick Taylor's number,
Plus,
Sean?
right now, Nick Taylor plus 450.
Okay, he can roll it.
Yeah.
I mean, he can putt.
I will say, and I don't know if we're going to get the win out of him. I believe he's 5 shots or 6 shots back now, but I'm still holding on to Max Homa 115 to 1.
Good week for him so far.
To win the tournament.
crowd
6
favorite.
under on the weekend, crowd
a lot
favorite.
of people are pulling for Homa.
Yeah.
And he's another guy. You talk about Lowry here late night the other night. Max Homa was the last guy on the range on Monday.
Ooh.
Just grinding, man.
Yeah, it's been about an 8-month grind for him. He changed.
He changed everything.
We talked about this earlier. He changed just about everything. He changed his swing coach. He changed his equipment. He changed his
caddy
sponsorships on his clothes. He changed his caddy. He's it was a rough, I would say, end to his last season and beginning, but obviously he had, I believe, a top 12 at the Masters.
He's 12th, yeah.
And then a nice week, I believe 2 weeks ago. So he's
trending.
starting to find it again.
He's starting
yeah,
to trend.
He is definitely trending.
Speaking of, things that I guess you could say adversity, but is it a creation of their own? What took place with Morikawa and his caddy? Because I did see that in breakdown yesterday on CBS. The gentleman who was interviewing him didn't really dive deep into it, but he was very open about what took place. It was Morikawa's caddy, lifelong caddy, that he did, decided to go separate ways.
Yeah, well, Morikawa now has Homa's caddy, I believe, Joe Griner,
Yes.
who in the midst played with Justin Thomas a few weeks ago and got a win in Hilton Head. So Joe Griner is looking really good right now. And if you're Max Homa, you might be thinking like, man, what am I doing here? I parted ways with my good buddy who's been on my bag for all these years, and now he's going and winning.
That's
and
a
now
honeymoon.
environment that they have perfect bunkers.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
But they are good.
No doubt about that. Speaking of good, is this scene right here, right now. This is great. What I'm going to do is this, though. 2 more minutes, and we're going to take a timeout. We'll get Danielle over here. We're going to stay live. We're in this.
Yeah,
we're
in it at this
we
point.
Ain't
We're
going
already
anywhere.
soaked. We're not.
But just Radio Magic, I'm going to replay this at 3 o'clock. Anyways, with that being said, Luke, if I could, you do a great job covering the Gambler for us, or covering the Phillies for the Gambler and crossingbroad.com. Take us through, give us the recap on what the Phillies did over the past 3 games.
Yeah.
Sweeping the Rays, and now what's next?
Yeah, I think that was probably the best series so far this year for the Phillies. And I'm not necessarily just saying that because it was a sweep. I thought every sort of issue that I would say had, or some people had in the beginning of the year, they sort of solved it. They've been playing, not just home run or bust baseball. They laid down 4 sack bunts in 3 games this week.
Yeah, where did that come from?
That sack bunts, ton of opposite field hits. There was a stretch, I believe it was Wednesday night. So the second game of the series, I believe it was the 8th inning, they went sack bunt, opposite field hit, sack bunt, opposite field hit, double to the gap.
Incredible.
5 in a row. Like that is what happened to the Phillies and where did they go? Because that was not them. But yeah, they're just starting to really play extremely complete baseball right now. They look like a baseball team. They don't look like a team that's going out and just trying to hit home runs.
And Taijuan Walker gave him another
Taijuan
nice
Walker's
outing.
got a 2.4 ERA right now.
How about that?
The dude looks really good. I was a little hesitant on him going to the bullpen just because I don't think his stuff really works great out of the bullpen. I was very much proven wrong Wednesday night. I believe 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. His first career save. He has 200 and something starts in his career, and I believe he has 1 more game appeared than starts. So he's basically just always been a starter.
Yeah.
And in, I believe, his 8th or 9th ever bullpen appearance, he got his first career save. They're just clicking right now. They go into Cleveland this weekend versus a good Cleveland team, but not
22-15.
Not great. So that should be another series win. I mean, they've won 4 series in a row.
Wow.
They're now a handful of games over 500. They have a favorable home stretch next week. They have the Cardinals and the Pirates, both winnable series. So this is the month. May is the easiest month for them.
It was kind of crazy, though, watching them play in a minor league stadium, wasn't it?
It's crazy. I have my ups and downs to it. I think it's cool to kind of just get the kind of intact baseball feel. It's cool. There's only 9,000-10,000 fans in there. But at the same time, there was 2 home runs hit by the Rays this series, and both of them would have only been a home run at that stadium.
Is that right?
So there's been a little bit of some iffy home runs that they hit. But yeah, I just think they're clicking right now.
Yeah.
They have a very favorable stretch. May is their month. They play 2 teams all the month of May that are over 500 right now. So this is really the month to get some wins, get a nice lead in the division, and sort of build on the season here.
And generally, I mean, you talk about the favorable schedule. Generally, May is when it starts getting hitting season.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the temperature starts
Uncle
to go up.
Charlie.
May is the
Uncle
warm
Charlie.
up. May is the true warm up
Yep.
for June, and then they really get going.
Yep.
So they have a nice little stretch here.
All right, once again, we are coming to you live from the Truist Championship. Folks, can't thank the fine friends over there at Wear SPF. If you're looking for sun protection that actually works and feels great, you got to check out Wear SPF by PGA Pro Justin Thomas, who we are talking about could potentially be getting the job done this weekend. Dermatologist tested, sweat resistant. It's broad spectrum SPF that won't mess up your swing or your skin. I like that. From the first tee to everyday life, protect yourself like the pros. Shop now at wearspf.com, wearspf.com, and stay sun safe all year long, even today. Harry Mays, appreciate you hanging out to kick off the show. We're not going anywhere. Luke Arcani as well is hanging. Danielle Matthews is going to join us once again. We are live from the Truist Championship. Green side 15, T side 16. Back after this.
Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Kyle, can you talk?
Check, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is cold out here at the Truist Championship on this fine Friday. Beautiful Friday here at the Truist. The crowd is screaming. I got a chance to watch Keegan Bradley knock one in alongside Justin Rose, who is currently sitting in dead last. So whoever took Jay Rose on their one and done or any props, no good. Not going to make the cut. How we sounding over there? Not getting anything? Just a little bit, not too much though. At least the heads. Check, check. 1, 2, check. 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's working on the board.
Test, test, test. Testing. Test, test. Testing. Testing. Test, test. Testing. Testing. All right. Pretty good. Bring it down. Bring it down. Test, test. Testing. All right.
Like fuck, shit, piss. Wait, I didn't just mess that up, right? Like you were.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Bring it on in. Round 2, live from the Truist Championship, of course, Philadelphia Cricket Club, Wissahickon course. It is a beautiful day here in the Delaware Valley. Absolutely perfect for a golf tournament filled with some of the best PGA Tour players out there, and of course a radio show. I kid. Anyways, we're not going to be and see about that too much. Sean Brace, Harry Mays, back with you. Danielle Matthews, live in the flesh. Great to have you up from Florida. Perfect weather here.
I brought it with me.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh
say
my
that.
God, I'm so cold. I underdressed. I'm freezing. I'm looking for hand warmers. Anybody listening has them, please come over to 15
Hey, you
Green.
need hand
I-
warmers?
hand warmers,
Yeah.
Harry, a scarf, a beanie,
Yeah.
another jacket maybe.
You are a little underdressed. I mean,
am.
you know.
I'm
Harry-
a marshmallow. I'm so soft. The blood is thinned. I'm freezing.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. I'm sweating over here. Do you want my jacket?
Right?
I offered.
I know.
I
He
did
offer.
yeah.
Moose offered. Everyone's
Yeah.
offering, but I don't want y'all to be cold either.
Well, yeah, it is. I believe starting to clear up. Am I allowed to say it?
It
I'm
feels that way.
I'm a Doppler guy. And you know
Okay.
where I learned to be a Doppler guy? When I worked at River Ridge Golf Course in Raleigh, North Carolina for 3 years. Shout out Craig Hooks, who's still the superintendent there. One of the best jobs of my lifetime. Live and die by the Doppler, brother. And here we are. I think it is going to dry up. It started raining sideways on our backs.
Yeah.
We called a 20-minute timeout. 20-second timeout, 20-minute, whatever it was, and now here we are. But the golf course is playing great right now. These guys are shooting low numbers. What a scene it is in front of us, Danielle.
Amazing.
To be able to see, and this is GA, too. This is general population is able to just walk right up and grab a seat. That's
Right.
this has to be the one spot on the course you're able to do that.
And,
Right.
and the best part is it's a par 5, so there's so many birdie opportunities. We just saw Denny McCarthy make birdie, and it gets the people going. We hear a bunch of roars when we see a birdie look. So we're getting to see a lot of the third shots come in, getting it kind of putting it kind of close, and then watching some birdies and hearing the crowd get excited.
Yeah, it's not quite the TPC Scottsdale vibe,
No.
but it is close. When
Yeah.
guys don't, guys come up short, they hear it. They give
You're
them
not
the
gonna
business.
take your shirt off,
We
Harry?
heard. No, I'm not taking my shirt off. It's too cold. But we heard some Eagles chants
Yes.
breaking
did.
out too about
Yes.
10, 15 minutes ago. So
And it does make you think about TPC Scottsdale, the fact that they let the beers fly.
Yeah.
These things are so expensive these
Oh,
days, man.
dude.
$22
You're going to have to pry
margarita.
that out of my
I just
hand for somebody to throw. Yeah, I'm not throwing that out there.
I
It's-
drink the foam.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm seriously.
I saw Harry licking the cup.
But I'm not drinking today.
All right. Staying
I'm good.
dry with that side of things.
and also putting on my SPF just in case the sun peeks through a
Wear
little bit.
SPF. Shout
wear
out
SPF.
JT. So here we are right now, Truist Championship, checking out the leaderboard. Keith Mitchell in with a second round 67. Harry, I'm going to come to you on this one. What can you say about the start for Keith Mitchell that hasn't already been said? Unbelievable.
It's terrific, and he backed it up with a 3-under round today. Tough to back up a 61. I don't care where you're playing or what the weather is.
Shattered the course record.
But yeah, he shattered it by 4 shots yesterday. Could have been more. He could have made a birdie on the final and didn't. But yeah, a steady round today. He's one of these guys. He's got one win. He won down at the Honda a few years ago, down in your neck of the woods. Danielle came out of nowhere. He was a kind of a no-name kind of guy, and then all of a sudden, boom, there he wins, and everybody's like, okay, Keith Mitchell. And he's a first-round behemoth as far as gambling goes. He's had the share or solo first-round lead 3 times already this season, Sean, and I know you know that. But where he's come up small has been on Sundays, where he just his game goes into neutral, and he shoots even par and gets lapped and doesn't win. So we'll see what happens. There's a long way to go.
Long way to
36
go.
holes for him, and some of these guys aren't even halfway done with their second round yet.
Yeah.
Did you get a look at him, Cashmere Keith? Was he wearing his cashmere today? Did he have a 4-button polo and with the top? The
I couldn't
unbuttoned
tell.
polo?
He had a little rain gear and stuff.
Full-
on, but
Everyone has full rain gear.
He always
today.
looks good.
Yeah,
Cashmere
you're right
Keith,
about that.
maybe.
Everyone looks the same today. But
Yeah.
full disclosure, we were talking about this earlier. So yesterday, all over the course, was able to follow a bunch of players. he happened to be one of them. Had no idea, as far as the leaderboard was concerned, that he was doing what he was doing. Trust me,
following him.
I was. I was just up at the top part, 14, just meandering around, finding my way, and this is such an unbelievable layout. It's perfect. Like, you could set up, look to your right, and you're watching a tee shot.
It's tight.
Then you look to your left, and you see guys like Jordan
Putting.
Spieth on the green, right?
Yeah.
So I'm following him, and the first thing I said to Harry, I'm like, where is he from? He looks like a Southern gentleman. Bang.
Yeah.
Georgia,
Got
correct?
it. Called it.
GA,
Yeah.
one of the many Bulldogs on tour.
Yeah.
All right, so crowd favorite right now, of course, top of the list. I'm going to put Shane Lowry at the top.
Oh, Shane.
And he
Five
is.
under
Because he
today.
looks like Jason Kelsey.
He just gives off that vibe,
He
right?
does.
And of course, we talked earlier. This is kind of like ballpark weather for him
When
as
you
well.
think of Shane Lowry, you
think
kind of
it
think
is.
of days like this,
Yeah.
right?
So he shoots a 65 in his second round. Harry Mays, your thoughts on Shane Lowry right now and his perspective as far as the weekend is concerned?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's perfect for this golf course. He's perfect for this kind of weather. We'll see what he's got this weekend. But, terrific iron player, and he's terrific around the greens. So you talk about hands. That guy, he can get up and down from anywhere, any lie. And this rough is just going to keep growing. I know it was 3 inches earlier in the week. It'll be probably 4.5 by the time they get to Sunday because of all this rain. He is terrific around the greens.
And Harry's strokes gained approach to the green, he ranks first.
Is that right? Approach?
4.409 strokes gained on the green. So, yeah, he's rolling it, too.
Well, it's a second shot golf course, so there you go.
Yes, sir.
Danielle, over to you on this one because I know you could talk a little bit more about what it takes from the standpoint of a player's mental and when the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows
Yeah, I'm
and
always
stuff
in it.
and stuff that's out of your control as well. Ricky Fowler is a little bit more, because he's been around the game a lot longer, but he's been through a lot. So here he is today, and of course yesterday. Right now he's 8 under. Yesterday goes out and shoots the lights out. Just talk. What do you think is going through Ricky Fowler's mind right now? Of course, he's a guy that knows how to win on this tour, and he wants to come up strong and get the job done over the next 2 rounds. But he's got to be so proud of what he's been able to do with these first 2 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's playing this week on a sponsor's exemption, right? So in here and having that opportunity today, he still has a couple holes left, 3 birdies, kind of evened out with the 2 bogeys. But, Ricky's due again soon. He had some kids, doing the family thing, trying to find balance. But he's due. He's not exactly trending right now, but I'm glad he got this opportunity this week and excited to see kind of what he puts together.
And definitely a crowd favorite.
A huge crowd favorite.
Yeah.
I think Ricky will always be. The orange thing with the kids, kind of faded a little bit. But if you met him in person or even if you just saw him walking around here, you couldn't meet a nicer guy. He'll sit there. If you need directions, he'll tell you where to go. He's just a genuine nice guy. And I feel like the golf gods got to give you a little bit of something for being a cool person.
Got to
right?
believe in the karma a little bit there.
sure.
We're live here from Truist Championship. Harry Mays, Danielle Matthews, Sean Brace, of course, Fox Sports The Gambler. Literally 15 green side, 16 tee side, the par 3, about 190 plus over there. Rain coming to a little bit of a pause, if I may. Still overcast as hell. And that's why you need to wear your SPF 40, wear SPF, right?
Wear SPF.
Exactly. That's
yeah,
it.
because you have no idea. Even though it's a little cloudy, you don't know. It could
That's
still
it.
be coming through getting us.
Let's talk about Justin Thomas for a second here.
JT.
is rolling.
Trending.
We were hitting on him a little earlier, saying that he definitely has the look to potentially get it done through over the weekend. Danielle, your thoughts on JT? Of course, he was able to win down there in Charleston. Has been playing really well this season, and it's great to see his name up there at the leaderboard. But it's one guy that I want to see get over the hump and win it.
Yeah.
A little bit too much to expect today or this weekend, or no?
I don't know that I have JT hoisting the trophy at the end of the week. I don't know if Harry has a different thought.
He's
but
T5 right now.
Yeah, but I just don't know that I see him, like I said, winning at the end of the week. When you're playing good golf, you're playing good golf. And as you said, we just seen him win in a playoff 2 weeks ago. So, you're saying there's a chance. There definitely is. I don't know. We'll have to see where he finishes up. I mean, where are we at right now?
He's 7 under.
He's
and
7
he was
under.
3 under for the day.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he
he
made a
said it was-
bogey on the second last hole, which is one of the long par 3s.
T5. Yeah.
But I like his chances.
Do you?
Yeah, I really
How's your
do.
guy doing? How's Tommy doing?
He stinks. He was 4 under. Totally.
Harry Mays,
stinks.
if you guys haven't listened to our pod before, you got to tune in and listen. Harry is a fair weather fan when it comes to our golfers. He's all in.
Oh, you're
and
either
he loves
you're
it.
either
Tough.
with me or you're
Yeah,
against
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know, That's
I'm
the way it
either
is.
about, I'm in love or I hate you.
The other day, I met up with a friend of mine who's a Manchester United fan, and I'm like, dude, I don't mean to sound like this. I'm not a fair weather fan, but, like, I got so much going on, and if you're just not a good team, like, I don't know if I could sit there and watch. He goes, dude, you just describe the fair weather fan. Like,
Yeah.
that's
exactly.
you right now.
That's kind of, wait,
Like,
let me
yeah,
look in the dictionary real quick.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm a
yep,
fair
there-
weather
there's your
EPL
photo.
fan,
Wait,
too.
there's photos of Harry and Sean. What's going on?
I'm like, I got a lot going on these days. All right, I want to focus on some of the players that have finished up, of course, with their second round.
Rory McIlroy, 7 under par, just finished up.
Another one of
Watch
Harry's
out.
favorites.
Watch out.
And you're not overstating it because I don't think there's anybody that's playing better than Rory,
yeah,
right?
Not right now.
Throughout the
no.
course of
What
the
about
season so
Akshay,
far.
too? That was a little bit of a
That's-
surprise for me.
we're big
right?
fans of
Yeah,
him.
we're big
We
fans
love
of Akshay.
Akshay, but yeah.
And one of the bright faces that the PGA Tour has coming up right now, and I
No
saw
doubt.
his
got
face
Siwoo
front
shaking
and
it.
center on the huge truck that was set up. Where did trucks go? They
Oh,
only,
they leave.
they got to
They
leave.
They're only here for Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then once you start the tournament, you got to deal with it.
Yep.
If you know.
You can't visit the truck once the tournament
no
starts.
adjusting, no nothing.
No.
Well,
Really?
you'd have to do that yourself, I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean,
They
you
don't
can
have the
keep it,
truck.
in your
You got
bag,
a wrench. You
but
got a wrench.
in
Oh,
your
I
bag.
thought this
Yeah,
was like motocross or
probably,
NASCAR.
You're probably not switching the degrees of your
I
driver.
do
once
my
play
own wrench
starts.
stuff with the driver.
But yeah, no, tour trucks pull up. They
Yep.
probably get here on Monday, and they're here all week for you to, grab your gloves, grab your balls, get new equipment.
What if you
do
want to
everything
try a new putter that was catching your eye on like Wednesday, and you're like, all right, this putter sucks. Saturday, I need a new putter. Can I change?
else?
Grab
You
it.
should have taken it on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah,
Sean,
grab it-
Sean,
grab
they'll-
it
they'll grab
Wednesday.
you.
Yeah.
You should see. You go up to the green on Wednesday, and you'll see Scotty Cameron, like you'll see every other putter company, with their putters all over the green. And you go up, you pick one up, you hit a couple putts, you think it's good. These guys,
Yeah,
no,
mental.
they're a little mental.
Yeah.
They'll take 2 or 3, throw it in their bag, and then they'll decide which one they want. But you'll have to see.
I like that. Good to know. And of course, yes, those vans or those trucks were right behind us right here where we're currently broadcasting right now. And it's been a great week, of course, as we're rolling in here on a Friday.
Can't wait, too.
But let's keep talking about some of the players that are currently out there on the course right here, right now. And
Look
again,
at Patrick Cantlay.
Patrick Cantlay.
He's about to finish up, but
Yep.
he's playing well
Our
too.
guy Denny
Shot a
McCarthy had a little
65.
trouble backing up that great round of yesterday's 8 under. He's 2 over right now with,
Yeah,
with a few holes to
He
play.
grabbed
Just
a
made a birdie
here,
out here.
which was cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to see him bounce back. That'd be nice.
Gary Woodland,
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary.
of course,
Sponsors exemption.
another sponsor
He's
exemption.
another exemption,
How many
yeah.
normally do we see of those
There's
players?
4 for this
4.
tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that normal for each tournament, or do
It
we see?
depends. Sometimes
depends.
it's 2, sometimes it's 3, 4. It's an elevated event. I think it also depends.
Without
but-
getting too much into the details, is it there's specific reasons? Like I know Ricky won this before, so that was him. What was Gary Woodland's?
Gary
His
Woodland's
story?
through the story.
Oh,
the
it's
whole
unbelievable.
issue with the brain
Yeah.
surgery,
Yep.
probably.
Good work by them.
And it really has
Yeah.
to be the tournament director, right, in choosing. And we actually talked about this on our show because I was slightly disappointed in the choices for the exemptions at first because I said, Harry Higgs isn't playing great right now. Obviously, Brandon, I'm not going to bring him into the mix because it's too close to home. But somebody that's a local guy, a lot of times they'll choose to do that because then you're probably going to sell minimum 200 plus more tickets.
Yeah.
You're going to have the big crowds. You're going to have that.
Temple's
So
golf team would be front and center.
literally all around,
Unless they're playing in the
you'd have
Gap
way
Match Tour right
Right,
now.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
They're all
Well,
playing
with
for the
this weather, I
1912
think
club
every
right
club
now.
is closed right now. But that type of thing. So I like when, an exemption, at least one unrestricted spot would go to maybe a local guy or somebody that's going to bring in that, and then maybe you have it here. But with this tournament, as you know, it's been bounced around a few times. It was the Wells Fargo. We've seen it here. We've seen it there. We're only seeing it here at Philly Cricket once. But I'm so happy it's here and that all these people are exposed to Philly golf. We saw JT down at Angelo's. I'm like, get this
Oh, yeah.
Philly flavor. Get these people addicted to this area. Know what a embarrassment of riches we have on these golf courses,
Unbelievable.
literally
Golf
for real.
courses.
And
Yeah.
bring the tour back here for a little bit more golf. Hopefully, we'll see it.
Well,
Well,
we got,
the
one,
PGA coming.
Yeah, 2026.
2026, yeah.
Aronimik, what do you know about that course, Harry?
Long, high rough, and it just beats you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it beats you up. And they've had a few PGA Tour events there. I mean, Justin Rose has won there when it was the AT&T when Tiger's event moved up here. Then the BMW, Keegan Bradley outdueled Justin Rose for a win there. So you got to keep it long and straight, man, at that place.
I believe Colton Nost is how you say his last
Yes,
name?
Yep.
yes.
So he was talking about, I'm staying downtown. People throw me some spots. Somebody took a shot at him, whatever.
But he's
But
a Cowboys fan.
Okay, well, that's
Ooh.
fine then.
why.
That's maybe why we
expected.
just rolled out our Eagles chain
Yeah.
here.
Yes, but this dude checked in and he's like, this area is an unsung golf mecca. Cricket Club, White Marsh Valley, Manufacturers, North Hills, Sandy Run, Lulu, Huntington Valley, Philmont.
He threw Lulu in there.
Wow.
Huh?
I thought
And
the same thing
Philmont.
too. I was just saying, oh, Lulu even got a
Lulu
little.
and
How about
Philmont.
that?
I like
Yeah.
Lulu. I
Hey,
didn't know we were on that level. I mean,
Wow.
great
Wow.
though, great.
Yeah, I mean, you could add 10 more to that too. Like it's we say all the
1912.
time.
It's on
Let's
that
go.
level for me. I love that place.
Oh, Lulu's the
Yeah, it's
best.
great.
Lulu is the best. You're
Shout
right
out
about
to
that.
John Rusk and that Gap team.
All right, we're starting to get a little bit rain now coming
Oh,
back on our
boy.
backside. That's all right. That's all right. Staying another player that of course is a crowd favorite. I get hooked on those guys. Tony Finau.
Oh, couldn't be nicer.
Tony's. You know what? That's what I took away from just a couple minutes of watching him on the green, the way people are talking to him, and he's taking pictures with Jimmy Fly Snuka hands
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Great dude.
Yeah, and he could meet you right here, and you'll see him in 3 years. He'll be like, Sean,
No.
15 green,
Oh,
right?
stop
Truist, Philadelphia.
Tony Finau.
And you're like, wait, what? You are
Where
you
you
human?
be now?
Like,
Oh, I
yeah, where you
love
be
it.
now?
I
Tony
love it.
Finau.
I love
He
it.
was even
Yeah.
par today.
Yeah, great guy though, easy
yeah.
to root for.
All right.
Sungjae Im had a
Sungjae,
day. He was
yeah.
5 under. He's 5 under, and he's still got a couple of holes to play. He's gotten it to 6 under, which is good enough for tied for 12th.
What about Colin too?
Yeah.
He's been. Like,
He was even
sneaky
today.
Trending, yeah.
He was even today.
So
Oh yeah, he had a double on 17.
as we sit here right now, of course, a lot of these golfers are in. Seb Straka, come on down to the front here. He's
Another
now
Georgia Bulldog.
really third on the odds board, 6-1. He is in front of Rory at plus 650. Cantlay is 10-1. He's new to the party too as well. So far as the shifting to the odds board, and we're going to see constant movement over the next 2 days, no doubt about it. But it is great to see some of these names up there, including JT, also at 14-1. Putting that to the side just for a second, Danielle, we stumbled into this conversation. There was one that I got into yesterday. This is different. It's unique. This place is tight. And like I said, you could be on one spot, you're watching them drive, you turn your head to the left, now you're on the green. To me, if somebody came up to me and asked me, hey, what should be my approach, my first time going to a professional golf tour stop, what would you say? I say par threes.
Par threes? You know what? Like,
Because that's where the party's at, is on par threes.
I guess in some sense. Well, okay, so if we're talking about today, I'd say come to 15 because you'll see us.
Yes.
We'll have coverage.
Good call.
And we're on a par 5. It's a
Good
birdie
call.
hole. So come out to 15 green and see us here. But in general, like if you come out this weekend and the weather's a little bit better, I say don't just sit at one hole.
Yeah.
I say stay at a hole for, maybe 2 or 3 rounds. But also if you're a fan of somebody, right? You're a fan of Rory, get out there and watch Rory play 1 or 2 holes, bounce over, see Mitchell play a few holes, go out, catch Ricky Fowler. I think I don't love sitting up, posting up on one hole. I like to, follow a player or two for a few holes, check it out. That way there, you get to see multiple players, you get to see the course, you get to see how certain holes play, and there's bars you can stop and get a beveragino on a couple different spots, So don't stay in one spot. Move
My
around.
wife is staying in one spot. It's the Michelob Ultra
Ah.
Champ with a bunch of 1912 people. And I'm
I
sure they're well into it
She
by
does
now.
it right. She
Yes.
does it right.
Very-
But she also is from the area and she knows the course and
Very
everything.
comfortable over there at the I almost called it 1912 Club. That
Yeah.
too, yes.
Yes.
Michelob Ultra
Michelob
Club
Ultra
here.
I need to head over there. Hopefully they
Yes.
have some space heaters.
Don't know if they will have that, but yes, we could definitely use some of that today here. Little chilly, wind coming in, but that's all right. We got Luke Arcani, we got the Gambler Gang hanging out with us, Danielle Matthews, Harry Mays, continuing to talk all things Truist Championship. And again, swinging and dinging. If you missed anything, brand new episode we uploaded yesterday at Fox PHL Gambler. A highlight from that recording, which was great. It's always good to have you guys in the flesh all together, number one. Number two, on location where the red carpet was rolled out, like where we were on Wednesday.
yeah.
Tremendous.
Awesome.
terrific.
Yeah,
A
such
highlight
good
from that
spot.
recording for you?
Oh, well, obviously it's always great to be in person with Moose and Bays. It's cool. I feel like we just flow a little bit better
Oh, yeah.
when we're all in person
No doubt
together.
about that.
But I think just the Creator Classic was my first classic to be in person and just see kind of the different elements and different fans of golf. So we got to go over there and, I think for Harry and them, I'll let him say his own highlight, but I got to see him kind of looking at Jordan Spieth on the range and
Yes.
checking out his swing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool watching them enjoy that aspect.
Well, it's nice to be with that close to Paige Spearing act.
Yeah.
Like the restraining order didn't kick in.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, you're
so that was
he's
cool.
not supposed to be within like 500
Right,
feet of her or something.
right.
That's why you were. I was wondering why he wasn't next to me when I was interviewing
That's
her.
right.
And I was like,
I'm
"Where's
not allowed
Harry?
to be.
Where's
Yeah.
Harry?"
I'm not allowed
I
to be.
forgot about the restraining order.
Right.
Everybody asked me so far, and again, the Enquirer had a big write-up about her, front and center. That's understood. Everybody asked me, like, well, what'd you think? And I said, even better than advertised.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
That's all I
God.
Oh,
said.
totally.
Yeah, and you know, out of the
Yeah.
creators,
And
I
a
know
great
a lot of
golf
people
swing,
are.
too.
Yeah, like-
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was funny too because maybe she doesn't want me to share this, but I seen her standing there and she hit one or two, and she chunked one, and she goes to her caddy. She's like, I just chunked one, and like kind of felt a little uncomfortable. And I go, it's gotta be tough because you're a beautiful
Oh.
girl, and now people are thinking you're only in this space because
Right.
you're beautiful. But she plays great
Yeah,
golf.
she
She's
does.
a great golfer.
She was
couldn't be
smacking
nicer.
drives.
And you know what? People were yelling at her, Paige, I'm gonna pick my kids up from daycare. Come take a picture with me.
That
She's
did
like-
happen.
And yep. And
Yeah.
she goes, sits her club down, comes over, she takes the photo. She was super cool, like engaging with everybody. So I think it was cool to just see
Yeah.
someone in that space,
Sure.
like a creator thing, but as many fans as probably a Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
And to take the time and kind of hang with people, but then also see her get like a little nervous because there's 10,000 people yelling, maybe not 10,000, but 100 people yelling my name,
Yeah.
and they just saw me chunk
And they
a
were
shot.
all there to see her.
And
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah.
Claire Hogle,
Hey,
too,
now.
by the way.
I'm Team Claire Hogle. I'm Team Claire.
I'm
Oh,
Team
you are?
Paige.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I told her, I was watching her just swing. Like, her swing is so pure, and it's just so smooth, and she extends, come through. And I told her, I'm
That's
like,
why you like her.
I said she has the prettiest swing on at that point in time on the range, right then and there.
Prettiest.
Did, yes, prettiest swing out there.
Yeah.
I did make them the odds-on favorite, and I needed to revisit that as far as a handicapper is concerned. They didn't come in first. I don't think.
believe
no.
you. I
No,
believe
yeah,
you.
I got to come back to that. But she was, yes,
I
down
believe
to
you. I
earth.
believe
too.
everything you
Very
said.
down to earth. Very down to earth. Had some fun. Great time. Of course, that was on a Wednesday, the Creator Classic. And last thing about Paige, I will say, I think I caught her on the first Creator Classic. She was damn good on the microphone.
Yeah.
They had her on the
smooth.
course.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
she was like the on-course reporter kind of. She was good.
Yeah, she knows
Yeah.
what she's doing.
yeah.
And she shared a lot of the stuff. I think it was, whether it was with Amanda Balionis or Kira K. Dixon, whoever it was, like kind of asked her about it. And she said at first, like, she got negative feedback because she was a beautiful girl in this space and
Of
how
course,
she
yeah.
maybe dresses a little bit, promiscuous, et cetera, et cetera. And she said, you know what? Like, people are going to hate me regardless. Let's just lean
Yeah.
into
Don't pay
it.
attention.
And she said once she leaned into it, like, that's when it started even getting bigger. So
Yeah.
good for her.
If I was CBS, I'd kick Balionis to the curb.
I mean,
Okay.
look,
Seriously.
can't we just
Get outta
add?
here.
Kira K.
Can't we
Dixon,
just add?
come on down. Paige Spiranak,
I think we
come
just
on down.
add. I mean, we are in Amanda's lair right over there. As you can see, that's the CBS booth
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with the plants and all that. But that's where she's going to
Yeah.
be front and center over the next two, I would imagine.
Right.
Amanda, if you're listening,
yes.
we know you are.
Yes.
Bundle up,
Yeah.
dress warm. Unless she gets the space heaters, because we don't.
All right, Danielle, let's get some final thoughts before we get out of here. Again, we got the leaderboard up in front of us. I got the odds-on favorite here from DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Is there a player that I asked this question to Harry again. I'm going to come back to you on this as well. Is there a player that you were watching over the first 2 days, or you're able to see what they were able to do yesterday, that you're like, all right, I like where they're at mentally. I like where their game is at. Obviously, on the course, they're putting up some decent numbers. Watch out, they're a threat this weekend.
Yes and no. I feel like I'm just going to go with gut, and what I'd like to see is I think Shane, as Harry said, that it probably feels a little bit like home with this weather, looking up, not seeing a peak of color in the sky, just this gray sky. I think he's going to kind of, keep the gas pedal down if he keeps playing like he did. I mean, he's up, 9 spots today, plus 350. Relatively beautiful scorecard here, minus a little bogey on 10. Smooth 65. I like Shane. I think I like to see him holding up the trophy.
And that would be really cool.
really cool.
That would be
Because
cool.
he's due. I feel like he's had how many top? Let's take a look. Like how many top tens? But he hasn't, just broke through this year yet.
He hasn't had that win since last year when he and Rory teamed up and won in
Zurich,
New Orleans.
right?
Yeah.
But does that count as a win?
It does, I guess.
Half the points.
Yeah.
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 I mean, a win's a win. But
Yeah.
he's had 3 top 10s so far
Right.
this year in 2025.
Yeah, he's been playing well.
12th world golf rankings.
I think-
17th on FedEx Cup points. Let's see Shane. get
That
a win this
vision on a
week.
Sunday, him, raising the trophy.
Strix on.
Maybe Kelsey takes a trip back out here because they had like a little bit of a bromance going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah, they played
Wednesday or
together.
Tuesday, whatever it was.
Wait, and do you know that he dressed up as Jason Kelsey for Halloween?
Good call by you. I
Yeah.
did see that.
Yeah.
Nice work. Yeah, completely forgot about
for,
that.
For that reason alone, I'm taking Justin Thomas.
I'm with you on that
Okay.
one there. Let's go. And you know what? We need a little bit of red, white, and blue if I can.
Yeah.
I think Rose won. Justin Rose won the Open.
Yep.
Well, who won the Wilmington one a couple years ago? Was that Cantlay?
That was Cantlay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he's playing well today,
Yep.
too.
Yeah,
right?
he is
Yeah.
as well. So I would like to see a little red, white, and blue. If that's the case, we're going with JT.
I'll go with JT.
JT?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going with JT.
All right, excellent stuff. Danielle, great to have you in the flesh on a daily ticket. Brand new Swinging and Ding It. Make sure you get all your podcasts at foxphlgambler.com. iHeart app, easy to find, easy to download. And while you're there, make us number one on your stream or on your presets. We appreciate that. Check out the stream, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. for a brand new daily ticket. Harry Mays, always great to have you, sir.
Yeah, and shout out to Mike Powers.
Oh, God.
Slash the whole
Always.
crew.
Oh, the whole team.
For keeping us on the air, getting us on the air, keeping us there.
He didn't
Everything
He
dry.
didn't stop me from getting wet, though.
I just hit.
I mean,
just
could
hit
you-
brace with an awe?
Aw.
He hates when I say that.
So funny. I brought
you
the rubber
guys.
ducky. Speaking of awe, I brought the rubber ducky.
I need
right.
one of these. Where we
All
get
right.
that?
I took this one from my daughter.
Okay. I was going to say, my daughter needs that for
I
her bathtub.
bet. I've needed some good luck. No, it's not going on my Jeep dashboard. It's here, though, at the Truist, just like the Gambler. Live, 15 greenside, 16 tee, daily ticket. Best spot I've ever been hosting a radio show. Make sure you're checking out all things Swinging and Ding It at foxphlgambler.com. For Daniel Matthews, Harry Mays, I'm Sean Brace. Everybody enjoy the rest of your tournament. We'll talk to you later.